rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it.
You are now tuned in to the coolest reptile podcast in the entire world. The entire world, baby. You are tuned in to the coolest reptile podcast in the entire world, and that's Trap Talk with MJ. I'm your boy MJ, up in the building. What is good, everybody? Here we are, another Thursday. Yes. Ready to rock, bro. I'm ready to rock. I know the early birds are ready to rock. They're cracking. They're all up in the building right now. Feeling good tonight, man. It's going to be a great episode. If it's your first time tuning in tonight, do me a sweet solid. Hit the subscription button, that little button that's subscribe for free. Straight todo gratis. Hit that subscribe button. That way, you're going to be subscribe to the channel, and then hit that notification bell, that ding, hit that bell. That way you're on top of every single Trap Talk I come out with on Thursdays, and then make sure you're on top of my Saturdays, and then on top of my Trap Talk Tuesdays that I do. I'm just coming out with shit, man. I'm not stopping. I don't want you guys to miss a beat either. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Make sure you're subscribed, and give me a like, give me a dislike. You know, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm taking whatever you guys want to give me. Just give me something. Don't be a ghost, man. Have a voice. Do something, right? Drop a comment. You know, do something for your boy one time. Shout out to the sponsor, coldbloodedcafe.com. That's www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Freshest and the bestest, delivered to your doorstep. I'm talking about those damn day one pinks all the way to the whale shark rats. Guaranteed fresh, and this shit is the bomb, man. You got eggs. Those eggs go inside a sim box. www.simcontainer.com. Proven fact, man. My eggs go inside a sim box. Never lacking on my eggs, man. I'm telling you right now, you got an investment that you're looking to get into with this ball python shit. I'm talking about wanting to make some noise, man. That's Aussie Boys LLC, man. The fucking proof is in the name. Aussie Boys. I'm repping it, baby. It is what it is. Fucking, it's a giant. He's a giant. You don't fuck with giants. Ozzy Boyd is a giant. And that's my boy, the most respected fucking player in the ball python game. I don't care what anyone else has to say. Ozzy Boyd's, period. LLC. He's fucking killing it. Been killing it. Period. Ozzy Boyd. Shout out to my boy Ozzy Boys, man. I appreciate you, dog, so much. Focus 3. Habitat. Okay, hold on. I got to say this right. Fucking Steven corrects me after 3 weeks of saying it wrong. Shout out to the sponsor, Focus Cube Habitats, okay? Focus Cube Habitats are the future of arboreal enclosures, all PVC designed, super light, super durable. You can move them around. I've yet to get mine, but, you know, they're coming. I can guarantee it. I'm going to floss mine as soon as I get it. And you guys need to check it out, man. Check out their website. Check out their Instagram. All the links to this company is in the description below, and they are definitely not to be slept on. Focus Cube Habitats. Shout out to that sponsor. The original Freedom Breeder made in the United States, man. Stainless steel. Anybody who has a damn Freedom Breeder rack should be damn proud. Those are the racks of racks, man. You cannot go wrong with the Freedom Breeder rack. Was just over at Cusco's house, saw all his Freedom Breeder racks, and I'm fucking just impressed. I cannot believe how sick Freedom Breeder racks like last, for one thing. The durability and they just never lose their value. They're sick. Snakes love them. Straight up. I got all the sponsors. Yeah, man, that dab got me. Oh, I do want to say though, to go back to Focus Cube Habitats. They are doing a sweet ass giveaway. So go check out my boy Mark over at Texas Chondro. He has a sweet collaboration he's doing with Focus Cube Habitats, and you could actually have a chance to come up on one of these sick ass cube enclosures. So I will put the link in the description below for you to fucking check it out. If you want to go ahead and hop on it, I recommend it. I'm telling you right now, you could definitely come up on a free Focus Cube habitat. And here we are with all my early birds up in the building. Let's see. I know Apex was there early. What's up, Apex? My homie Apex up in the building. David, what's up, David? You got snow pythons. You got forest pythons, Bateman, KMB reptiles. What's good, man? You got Ryan. You got the homie O'Malley's morph up in the building. I'm so glad you're here tonight, Matt, because this is your boy as well. You know, I got Matt and Matt. That's tight. But yeah, man, stoked to have you here, O'Malley. That's my boy right there. And then Novies. What's up, Novies? Novies up in the building. That my OG day one homie right here, Wiz Constrictor. How you doing, Wiz? And then we have Tom Rockholm from Timeless Morphs. What's going on, Tom? Bond by Pythons. What's going on? Oh, what's up, homie Raul? Raul Garzon, man. This is an OG homie too. I haven't seen in a while. You must be studying with your wife, man. Cramping in those book studies, bro. Shout out to you. Paco Miranda. What's up, Paco? You joined the Patreon yet, Paco? I told you I was going to give you shit on the live. I told you. Nah, homie Paco's sick. Homie Aaron's sick. Check out my homie Boega, man. He's just fucking killing it with the mangroves. Bods Exotics, what's going on, guys? Mindy, you're here. The homie Chad, too. You guys are all up in the building, man. Shout out to all the early birds. So tonight, super excited. Not only because is this dude well known with the big snakes, you know what I mean? Just all around the board, you know, he keeps a lot of cool stuff, but this is a good homie of mine. Like me and him we have some history together. Like as far as like, you know, me looking for mentorship and you know, me interested in getting, you know, like my passion in the beginning of wanting to work with Retics and Burms, you know, all stems from people like Matt Bowers, like accounts like his, and then my other boy Kenny, and then there's Andrew Acevedo, but this guy right here is definitely, he's one of the main ones that I cannot stop looking at every single day, and he was posting just quality after quality, and we're gonna talk all about it tonight, man. He's fucking tapping in from Georgia, and this is my homie right here from Peach State Exotics, rocking the four-leaf clover. Matt Bowers got perfect signal, perfect audio. Your features are on. Yes. You got perfect features right now. This is great.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how we do it, man.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing really good. Really good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. I can't complain. Yeah. This is I was because I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought about bringing you on. Like, fuck, you're like definitely one of my beginning like people. I was like, okay, I got to get this guy on. But I'm not gonna lie, the main focus in the beginning was majority of ball python people. So. Right. I put you on the back burner because I was like, you know what, this channel is going to blow up. And you know what, I'm going to get a lot more people watching this at some point. And we're pretty much there at this point. It is blowing up. A lot more people are coming to watch. And now I'm like, now I'm going to bring my boy Matt Bowers on. Right. Now I'm going to bring this motherfucker on so they could really see what's going on.
That strategy right there. I love it, man. Don't bring me on too early. You know, let's get a little tenureship going and then bring it in.
For sure, bro. Man. I don't blow loads like that. You know, I do them nice. And, you know, I prep that shit. You know what I mean?
Right? Yes, sir.
So, dude, how you doing, Matt? I mean, we actually haven't spoken in a while. We stay in touch, but like I haven't really talked to you in a while. So I want to make sure that you're all good. I mean, with the, you know, COVID and whatnot, you know, I'm sure everyone's going through different stuff. But how's everything with that? Are you good? What's going on with that?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you checking. I am good. Business as usual. Luckily for me and everything around me, work and outside of work, everything's just kind of the same. I kind of live in a bubble anyway, in a sense. You know, I do the snakes, I go to the gym, I go to work, and I come home. So it's kind of the same. So I'm good.
I think snake people all live in a bubble. That's just us.
That's what we do, right?
Yeah, unless you have other snake friends, which I do see homies who happen to have snake, you know, like, for instance, we'll talk. You have a lot of snake friends. Like, we had your homie Bob Vu, who was on here not too long ago, which we'll get into a little bit, but yeah, the bubble, bro. I'm telling you, I think Kevin McCurley was the first person to say it on the other podcast that like we're literally trained for fucking lockdowns like this. Like
exactly, yeah. No, like, the only thing that happened with it is I wasn't weird anymore because everybody's doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
normalcy, man.
Exactly. We're just going along with the fucking, with the program here.
That's right.
which ain't changing shit for us really. So that's cool.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad, man. Well, Matt, I was telling the people how excited I am to have you on tonight because, I was, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. You saw how passionate I was about, the snakes you were working with. I actually have one of your fucking Burmeses who I was able to, and she's fucking just flawless, bro. Oh my God. She's huge. I probably I just realized, which we'll talk also about the whole feeding thing. It's not that I overfed her. I just fed her like just too often. You know what I mean? Like she was already a get to the point where, it's 4 years old. That's an adult, you would say, right? Because she's 4 now, right?
3.5, yeah.
3.5, 4. So not that it's a bad thing, but it doesn't hurt either to give her like less meals versus like once a week, right? I think once a week you don't. Like, I guess we could just get right into fucking feeding since I'm talking about it. But when when a snake is as big as, 8 feet, 9 feet, or an adult, right? When should that feeding schedule switch? When should it go from a week to like, all right, spread that out a little bit more?
In my opinion, really, when they get, I don't know, kind of a size scenario, about 6 foot or so. Maybe even 7. I tend to go every other week, not so much because it's better or it's ideal, just because they don't need as much, and it just gives me a break from cleaning every week.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I do have some adult snakes. I don't know if you've seen that giant fruit basket I have. The thing's like 16 feet long. I feed her every week, but I feed her smaller meals just because she likes guinea pigs. So I think it can go either way. All the clutch mates of your Burm that I still have, I do I guess not all, because all right, so let's take it back. The one Kenny had, all right, so he had the 2, right? You got one, I got one.
I have 2, or like the one I have now, right?
Yep. And so that one I do every other week just because Kenny got them so well established. That one came in twice the size of the ones that I had. So right now, the other clutch mates, I'm trying to catch up to it. So I'm doing them every week, especially right now, because I'm trying to make something happen with them this season, right? So I'm trying to like pound them in so I can start pairing them up. Does that make sense? So to answer your question, there is no right answer. Just whatever's working for you. If she is looking a little thick, then you can pull back. If she's not looking, so that's kind of what I go by, is that thickness. There's like a 9 foot snake that can be this big, and there's a 9 foot snake that's like this, right?
Right.
You just kind of gauge off that.
Right. What's crazy also is like you can, like, no matter which route you take, there's always going to be somebody who's not happy with it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No matter what.
Because it's like there's not
right
necessarily a right answer. There can be. There's like a couple wrong ones, right? Which would be like, don't feed them or feed them a ton. But everywhere in between, you're not right or you're not wrong. It's just whatever's working for you. And again, like I said, I do the every other because then I have to clean every other, right? So that just works for me and my schedule and the kind of the system I have. So it's all kind of right, as long as the snakes thrive and run it.
Is it kind of like how some parents will never feed their kids McDonald's, but then there's actually some kids who actually eat McDonald's and they grow up perfectly healthy and fine? It's just like
exactly perfect metaphor right there. Yeah.
Great. All right, I nailed it. Nailed it. Now, speaking of McDonald's, when was the last time you ever touched a French fry? I'm just curious because you're swole, bro. Like and we'll get into your body fat in just a second, but like, what was the last time you touched a French fry or anything fried? I'm just curious. Or you had a carb? I want to know.
I'm serious. An awkward question. No, so I eat a lot of carbs, and I will work some French fries in. We call it a refeed. Sometimes you need to get that stuff in, and it's fuel. But yeah, it's not unusual. I brought snacks. I didn't know how long we'd go, so I got some Oreos and I got some Nico cookies in case the blood sugar needs to be leveled out. If you see me bust out an Oreo, just mind your business and let me keep going.
I don't mind. Your homie Bob was throwing down chicken wings, I think, during our episode.
That's about right. Yeah. It was that or noodles. That's his jam.
Yeah, it was an amazing episode. Now, I will say, man, respect. Ever since I've followed you, man, you've always had your fitness game on point. Like, and I could tell you're a scheduled ass structured motherfucker because I wake up shit ass early. But then what I'll look at is like I'll see that you post stories as soon as you wake up, and you wake up fucking like it'll say I'll wake up like let's say I wake up at 3 a.m. Like you literally had already woken up. Like it's like you're up early as fuck. Now is that like all the time? Is that a Monday through Friday thing? What's up with your schedule? Because you're up and cracking like early.
So that is for the most part. Well, yeah. So I wake up at 3:30 during the week, so it is very early. And I kind of have, as soon as my eyes open, I peek at the clock, that brain starts going, man, and it's like hard to go back to sleep. So I mean, there's times where you're the same. Well, I imagine you are as high strung as you are. So like, you wake up and it'll be like 2:30, like, all right, cool, I got another hour, and you're sitting there and you wake up and it's like 2:34. It's like, come on, bro. Then you lay there and it's like, all right, it's 2:41. It's like, screw it, I'm getting up. So it's not unusual for me to just go ahead and get up at 2:45. Let's get it rolled. Let's get the cages cleaned. So that is like a Monday through Friday thing. During the weekend, because I don't have to go to work, I might get crazy and sleep until 5:45. You never know. Maybe I go to 6 one day.
Right.
But I do get up early, and the world's off at that time. It's like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like I feel like I'm the only one up, and it's that time where nobody's really pulling at me. Nobody's asking anything, and you just kind of zone out and, I don't know, reflect and get ready for the day.
That's why I love my mornings, man. I have I have my mornings to like, I wake up early enough to where like I literally have nobody needing anything from me for at least the next 4 hours or so.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Nothing against my wife. Shout out to my wife. Not that she always needs something from me, but I'm just saying, like, there's fucking like, bro, I'm literally in like peace. Like nobody, I don't know. I just love it. My mornings are everything to me, bro. And and I've never really been
the same way.
Never really been a night owl. When I partied, I was a night owl, but even then I like had stuff to keep me up. But like, I fucking just value my mornings. I just love the mornings because what you said, there's like nobody around. Like just saying, like it's just like your first one of the show type of thing. You know what I mean? And you get shit going. You know what I mean? So that's sick, dude. So
same way.
Now, basically, I mean, when because you're handling like first thing in the morning, your stories, you're handling your big girls, and you're always handling big snakes from what I can see, dude. And you're always by yourself. So, I know people always trip out when I, even when they come see my snakes, like, oh man, isn't that dangerous to have, snake like that by yourself? I'm sure you get asked that a lot too, right? Like, as far as like you keeping so many big snakes and like whatnot and so forth, even though that could be really dangerous, but I'm sure you have a lot of great safety measures that you take. But what are some of the things that you've always done to make sure that you're keeping big ass snakes like that?
I mean, not a ton. So initially when you go in, you're going to know whether you need to mess with her or not. Right. So we know the feeding responses, and generally they're going to be very telegraphed that they're ready to eat. So the tap training, go in with the hook. And that will usually, you can gauge. All right. So they'll come up and you touch them and they'll back down. And it's very obvious when you snap them out of it. Cause they do, it is a feeding mode. They have like on and off, and that's it. So once you turn that off, usually pretty good. Now you still need to go in very cautiously because it could turn right back around, but it's not foolproof, but once that's turned off, you're pretty much, I would say, clear. Get them out, put them in the tub. Outside of that, I don't really have any other precautions. Maybe that's why I do stories, so I can alert somebody. I don't know, but it's just that initial. I will say too, though, like they do have personalities, and some of them are moody. If they're in that mood where they won't let you get them or they are bucking you a lot, just close the tub. Right? Like I don't ever unless they're kind of giving me a very clear signal that, hey, we're good today, I don't mess with them. That makes sense. And if you mess with them a lot, the big retics, you'll know what I'm talking about. And some of them, they have a mood. I have one that I go in and I usually go with a paper towel on her. She's a little higher. And if she squares up, don't even mess with her. Holler at her tomorrow. But if you touch her and she's in a good mood, she'll kind of crawl away. and then you're fine. And she's sweet as can be, but she lets you know, and that's what's cool about the Retics. They'll let you know, like, hey man, today's not the day. Now, if I have a big one out and something something happened, then I'm tapped out. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. So I might feed my cats. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's exactly what I've done, man. I've always read the body, their body language. In some days are better than others, but one thing I'm not doing is not fucking throwing the thing. I'm as far as like where the size of the snake's at now. I'm not too like crazy about throwing them over my neck anymore. I used to do it all the time because I used to love. I used to throw them there while I used to clean. Like they would just sit there, especially the Burm. Oh my God, bro. The Burm is so chill. She doesn't move.
So chill.
I'll throw her and she'll just be like this. Like, I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ, are you alive? And she's like, yeah, I'm here. Like, I'm just chilling. And sometimes she's the best, like, but it's also hit or miss too, because I'll get too comfortable and I'll turn my back and she's quick to move if she needs to move too.
Yep.
Man, I can't get over that snake, bro. Can we go over the pairing of that snake if you don't mind? I'm gonna pull it up on
yeah.
Let's go over what you did to make this snake, and I'm gonna pull up the snake right now. Go ahead, you can go and start talking about it. If you
I was ready for the picture just to appear, and we're gonna do like this presentation. Okay, no.
I'll pull it up.
That was, so man, that snake's weird, right? Like it doesn't look like a normal hypo. So I don't know what's going on, but this is how it went down. All right. So if you go back, and a lot of people don't realize this, because Burms kind of did a little explosion, is because you used to not be able to ship them, right? Like you could first ship them in 17. Okay. So at one point when I was getting into them, I was limited to what's in Georgia. Okay. So to set that up, I was kind of on like this hunt to find snakes that just looked different or were good quality. Anyway, so the dad was this snake that like my buddy had it, and he has kind of like a dark basement type scenario. And the snake was like up here and it was just glowing. And I was like, the thing looked like, I don't know, just neon. And I was like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's, Burm I got. And for some reason I didn't ask him if it was available. It ends up getting moved around, and I found it at this other place. And anyways, the snake is it's kind of the color of yours, but just brighter. So it's a hypo. Okay. I don't know why it looks like that, but it is. Yes. So that's it in the back. And then that's one I produced in front of it. So just a different color. So that's the dad. I can't tell you what he is. We'll call him hypo, but as you can see, he reproduced an animal that looks just like him. And then, the mom was another one that I had found. It was in 2015. The same guy had it, and I didn't get it at that time. Then he produced a clutch with it, and then sold it to somebody who gave it to somebody who had ended up coming back to me. And again, when I was learning about the Burms and trying to find what I liked in the Burms, you're limited to what's in Georgia. And I just kept being drawn to these snakes with these dramatically reduced pattern. And as you're playing around on Google, I see the term leopard come up. And so just associated this with the leopard. And that's where the whole leopard thing came from. But anyways, this snake was kind of a different color too. The mom, she was like an army green, just a different looking snake, and had the opportunity to pick it up. And just
so is the mom a hypo leopard, or the mom? Is this the mom?
No.
This.
No, that is a clutch made of yours.
Oh my God!
But that's what the mom looked like, just not hypo. And then if you see that, like whatever that bright yellow is all around,
it's all over.
I don't know if that's a marker or not, because like the other one I got from Kenny, which is kind of a normal, it's a weird looking normal. It has that bright yellow around all the markings. Yours probably even has it a little bit too, but it's a different shade. But anyways, the mom was a leopard. I call it leopard. I know a lot of people don't like that, but that's the only way I could describe it. And then she obviously produced other dramatically reduced pattern animals. So that's why I just kept rolling with the name leopard, just to kind of separate it from other het greens, because that looks different, right? But yeah, that was the pairing, is just two animals that don't look like any other Burm. And that's what you get.
So the people who are like, man, don't call that a leopard, what do they want you to call it? I don't understand.
Yeah. So I don't understand either. But what they want me to call it is a het green. And kind of what I'm saying is they're like, it's just a het green. And kind of my argument is it's not just a het green. It may be het green, but look at the animal. It looks different. And I produced animals from a green that had no green markings at all, no reduced pattern by any mean. So I think that what they think is by calling it leopard, I'm kind of like misconstruing what it is and charging more for a normal. But that's not the case. I'm just trying to describe the reduction in pattern, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know. You got the homie Dylan here. So the homie Dylan, let's see. I don't know why this is taking forever. You got the homie Dylan here. He's a big Burm guy here.
Yeah.
Said, ooh, that L word.
That's my guy. Yep.
Yeah. You Burmies. You guys are such Burmies.
Burm bros.
Burm bros, bro. Now, with that project going into this year, right? You said you got something going on with it, right? Or what's your plan with it going into?
I just got some pairings, but I'm just this close to the rack. So this
here we go.
Clutch mate.
All right.
So this is actually, we talked about the side girl. This is a clutch mate. So this is the other thing that's going on with them. So this is this is June 2017. So this is a 3.5-year-old, almost 4-year-old Burm. This is a male, and it's got that really light stuff going on. And again, I mean, this snake's like, what is this? 3.5? Nah, 4 feet long.
Is that my girl's brother?
So I don't know if that has something to do with it.
Can you hear me?
Are they what? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is that my girl's brother?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Cool. That's so sick, bro. Bitchin'.
There it is. Yeah. So they stay small. And this one's light. So so they're of age this year, the females. So I'm gonna put them together and see if I can get something.
Ooh. Good luck, man. Yeah, dude, you're
thanks.
I wish you could see your girl in person. I would really like for you just to get your opinion. Because I just feel like she's big, bro. Like she's big, bro. Like I'm not saying he's like I'm comparing her body to her head. Like her head's big too. Like she's just big, dude. Like she's big.
The mom was 12 feet long. She was big. The mom was like, what I described her as her thickness. The mom, you remember the 3-liter bottles, soda bottles, back in the 90s? That's how big she was. She's fat, man. Big old snake. So, she could have got those genes.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing is she's a doll. I'm not even worried how big she is. I just can't believe how big she is. Like, I'm just like, wow, this baby girl's big. And bro, that's her feeding response. Like she's a sweetheart, but if she's hungry, God forbid, man, it's like she fucking actually one time I had my buddy Austin here a long time ago. And this is about, I want to say just under a year since I had her. And I was like showing my buddy, I was like, oh dude, this snake's a sweetheart. And like, she was up against the glass, right? And I slid the glass open. She put her face right over that glass and just got my hand, dude. And like, but I was like, oh my God. Yeah, bro. I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm fucking, but it was, she let it go. She didn't really wrap. She thought it was food, but that's the only time she's ever got me. Ever since then, she's like kind of just, it's like she almost learned from it because now she just butts. Like she'll just come to me and butt if she thinks it's food.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's like
so
she
I'm about
feels
to show
bad.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you a picture of her now. I wish I had an updated picture of her, but she's so huge now. But this is basically, I want to say probably a year ago. Maybe this was her a year ago.
Dude.
Yeah. Year and a half ago.
Good looking snake, man. I don't know what's up with those snakes, man. That's hot.
I love her, bro. This is literally, I'll never, no matter what. And we're going to get into this conversation too, but I would never in my life get rid of that snake. That snake will because let's get into the next subject, man. Your homie Bob Vu was on here.
Okay.
And I don't know how it happened. I wasn't on purpose. It wasn't like a setup thing. I was a super high. And I asked him like, if there was one species, or I don't know how it happened, but it came down to like talking about if there was one species of snakes we could like keep from keeping forever, like eliminate it from keeping, what would it be? And he said Retics.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like, dude, that fucking, and this is after me already going to Brian Barczyk's and seeing like his huge ass enclosures, and there were ticks fucking climbing trees, and I was like, what? Like, and they were preferring to stay the high ground, and I was tripping out about that. But then when he told me that, I was like, dude, maybe I'm being a piece of shit for keeping these snakes, and all these things started going through my head and whatnot. And now, I mean, I can tell you what, I mean, it's been over a year since I even thought about breeding any of these. I don't definitely don't want to breed them yet. I'm just like, I'm just being careful, but I don't know, man. What do you think?
In a way, okay. He's not wrong.
Right. No, for real, I don't think he's wrong either. That's why I'm kind of like sad,
I watched that, and I do have to say, he was discussing like the sizes, and he's like, a college kid gets one, it's this nice snake, and then in 3 years it's 12 foot, and so he may have exaggerated that because I've got some 3-year-olds that are 6 foot or so. But with that being said, I could see, how do I want to word it? I feel like they need to be produced, I don't know if responsible is the word, but like strategically or like purposefully. I do feel like sometimes, because they have big clutches, and you keep a lot of them, and I don't know. So if you're just like banging out clutches to do numbers, I think you put yourself in a position where you may not be as I don't know, selective, bad choice of words, but you have so many, you have to move them, that you might be making deals with people maybe you shouldn't be. You're moving them at prices maybe you shouldn't be. I know. So this year I had a couple clutches, and I produce at a number where if somebody's messaging me and I don't know them, I will go to their Facebook and go to their Instagram and be like, okay, do they have other animals? Is this their first snake? How are they keeping their animals? Because this snake will get big, and kind of for the snake, I need to make sure that somebody's kind of knows what they're getting into, if that makes sense. I don't like necessarily disqualify people, but it's something people need to be aware of. So with that being said, I think if you have a ton, you may just like, I got to move these animals. So you might be selling them a little cheaper than you need to. Maybe you're just like, you go to a show and you're just moving them out. So that could lead to a problem. But it's not like the retics is the problem. It's on the front end on how we're producing them and what we're doing with them. So when I say be strategic, like make sure you're producing not just for numbers, to like, I want this more for this combination is going to look good together, or, working this locality into it. Make sure you're not just, this one went off food, throw a male in there, like
Right.
I'm behind for the year, so let me pair. So what I do, they'll let you know. So they stop eating, and when they stop eating, they're going to ovulate if you put a male in there. So once I get a certain number of ovulations or a certain number of eggs, if they stop eating, it doesn't matter. I'm not producing anymore, unless that's a really good pairing, right? So like I have a giant normal het purple, and she went off food kind of towards the end of last year, and I already had some good clutches in the incubator. And so I probably could have paired her and made some stuff, but I didn't have anything that I would make different from what was already in the incubator. So, just ride it out and catch her next year. Does that make sense?
No, that makes a lot of sense.
So he's not wrong, but he's taking an outsider of retics and forming an opinion. Whereas like, it's just, we need to make sure we're doing the right thing on our end as retic keepers. Because again, you put these snakes in the wrong people's hands. And this is kind of how I got into Burms. They'll end up getting passed around because that person can't keep and that person can't keep, and they're going to end up doing something stupid with it that's going to hurt everybody, right? It's almost like the pit bull concept, right? Like if a golden retriever bites somebody, it's not news. Right. But if a pit bull bites somebody, it's news and everybody hears about it and they're horrible dogs. So if a ball python gets out, somebody's like, look at this snake, right? But if a 14-foot, reticulated python's out because somebody's going to take it to the park and do pictures, and it bites somebody, then it's, it could screw everything up. Yeah. So I don't think Bob was wrong, but he did, maybe misconstrue it a little bit. Hang on 1 second. Hang on.
Go ahead.
Right back.
For the record, I wasn't bringing it up to say Bob was wrong in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of other people who have the same exact opinion, and I keep hearing it too. So I got to hear it from the actual somebody who produces and actually works with them. Just kind of see what his insight is. Ooh,
Sorry for that commercial break.
You're good. You're good. I'm gonna put it on you. I'm gonna put it on just you so you can show it.
Okay. So this is well, I don't know if y'all can hear me. So this is a 3.5-year-old retic.
I think we can hear you. You don't need the headphones.
Mainland. So no dwarf, no.
We can hear you.
No anything. Oh, okay.
We can
cool.
hear you. You don't need the headphones. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll give me a little more distance. But anyways, so this is a mainland 3.5-year-old female. I'm 5'10", 5'11". So not a giant snake. I mean, it's a big snake compared to ball pythons. But anyways, just to put it in perspective, they don't have to get huge. Yeah, I'll put her up.
That's sick. Yeah, I know there's ways of controlling them on how big you could get them, but I'm gonna talk to him more about it when I So yeah, you were saying about them not being dwarfs, and that's not a dwarf, so you could control the size.
Mainland. Yeah, and then if you think about it, if I can, you get that snake at what, a foot long as a baby, and then you grow with it over 3 years. So what is that? 1,400 days of raising this snake. That's a lot of experience in keeping a snake. Does that make sense? So it's not like people say, oh, it's your first snake or second snake or whatever. What are you going to do with a 12-foot snake? Well, 5 years from now, I'll have a ton of experience when it is that big. That makes sense? Yep. You're growing with it. So you make your mistakes when it's smaller, and it bites you when it's 2 foot long with a feeding response instead of big. So yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I answered your question, but I got to show you this cool snake.
No, I'm glad you did. And my thing was, though, because when we were when I brought up the Bob thing, I like I was saying, I don't think Bob was kind of wrong or right in any way. Like I wasn't, I thought his opinion was solid. It really opened my eyes to a lot of other things. But after he said that, I kept hearing his same opinion from other people's mouths too, and it was like kind of like eye opening, right? Like, let me tell you, like after going to Brian Barczyk's, right, and seeing fucking his Retics climb trees and stuff like that.
Yep.
Now I'm like, well, fuck, how the hell, if I ever want to see a Retic thrive like that, how the fuck am I going to make 12 of those enclosures? You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I feel like if a snake's eating, if a snake's breeding, if it's doing all the A, B, and C, then it has to be a happy snake, right? Like,
okay, I'm not a zoologist, biologist, any herpetologist. They move to hide, to not be eaten, to eat, or to find a mate.
Right.
Right. I mean, otherwise they're going to thermoregulate, and then if the food, and they wait for food to come by, and if food doesn't come by, they got to go find it. Right.
Right.
So I feel like they're not like a dog that wants to fetch. So I don't think they're climbing the tree because they're bored or they need engagement.
They're trying to get the they're trying to run away.
Right. They're just like, hey, here's a tree. I will sit up here because I feel safer and I can look over everything. And maybe they feel safer up there because it is a big cage. So if you have them in something like this, I don't know. That's my opinion. I feel like they've got a pretty good life. They could be the right temperature. They get fed. They're safe, and they get to occasionally have sex if they would like to. Not a bad deal.
Sometimes more than they need to. You know what I mean? It's just
Sign me up.
Yeah, bro. Because I also think too, like, let's think about it. If a Retic is also like not feeling its environment, it will push the living shit out of its face until it's fucking like deformed. So if it's not destroying its face and it's fucking, I think there's a peace of mind in that. I'm telling you, that's why I wanted to bring it up. So
I don't know much. That's just what I feel, and I have no credibility behind that. That's just, I don't know. And I see them in these big. So right here, I have the 6 foot by 3 foot visions, and
yes,
dudes aren't cruising. They sit in one spot. They might move over a little bit and then move over another. Now, are they not moving because there's nowhere to move? I can't tell you. But you know what I will say, for whatever this is worth, I've got one of those wild caught calicos. I don't know if you've seen it. And so this snake
I see
is
that.
one of the most, it's one of the most amazing snakes because you can see her thinking. And basically, so when I brought her in, so I took over a collection, brought her in, she would just kind of tuck in the back and kind of hide. She was real shy. She wasn't mean. So she wouldn't eat for a couple of weeks. And then I got a rat. So I have a thermostat going off, and then I have a cat meowing. So sorry for that background noise. But back to it. So I got a rat, and so she came up, and she just like took it. You know, you've seen the retics eat, man. It's pow, right? So she comes up, she takes it, she pulls it back, she lets go, and she sits. And then she ate it later. And so then I got her to eat her a couple more. And so then after about 3 weeks, she started coming up to the glass and checking me out. And then I would get to where I could touch her. Okay. So then my buddy came over and I was showing him, and I was kind of showing him, check this one out. And she was tucked in the back again. And I thought that was weird. And so then he left. She came up to the glass. And then my parents came over like a couple days later, and she was tucked in the back again. And so what I'm getting at is the safety and the security they're feeling in that cage. She could recognize that there was other people around and she was uncomfortable. And when she saw just me, she'd come up and hang out. So as we're talking about enclosures and how do they feel in there, she obviously feels comfortable when it's me and uncomfortable when other people are around, right? It's not the fact that she has a tree or she can go hide, right? It's just the environment. Is there some logic behind that, maybe?
I think so. I mean,
I don't know.
unless you're blind, unless you don't know how to fucking read something. And at the end of the day, what Matt's been saying this whole time is, man, you grow up with your snakes. You learn how to read your snakes. Nobody knows the snakes better than you know the snake, because you're fucking, it's like kind of like, you know, a child with its father. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna know that kid more than the father. You know what I mean? Or that should be the case, and if that's not the case,
theoretically,
you're a fucked up dad. Yeah, you're a piece of shit dad. So yeah, man, that's, I love these. These are all great points. And you're not even saying that you're an expert or anything. These are just your opinions from what you're experiencing.
I could be so wrong.
Yeah, we all could be wrong, but who gives a fuck?
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, this is how you feel for your shit, and nobody else is gonna, you know, make you feel otherwise, because, you know, you're the one working with it. So that makes sense. Now going back to the whole feeding thing, right? Let's go back to feeding. I'm not going to name drop anybody, but there are some people who are like targeted as like, oh, like obese breeders, or like, you know, Jesus Christ, like he overfeeds the snakes and stuff like that. Is there a rule of thumb that, I know we talked about kind of like, you know, kind of judge the size, but like, for instance, like you're mentioning like, oh, we want to get them ready for breeding and stuff like that, right? Like, how do you get a big snake ready for breeding without fucking doing it? I don't know. Like, for instance, there's no wrong or right? But like, what's an ideal way for you to get a snake ready for breeding?
All right, that's a great question. I don't do anything. All right, so
Sweet.
Yeah. So it should happen naturally throughout the year. And there's just, oh man, it's Zen. I'm gonna mute this guy for a second. So it's almost like a Zen type scenario. Like you just, there's a look to the snake where you're like, she looks good. She could have a clutch, or you know what, she's a little thin. I definitely think leaner is better from my experience. But they do need the body weight. So I don't know, man. I mentioned getting those ready because they're smaller. Smaller as far as Burms, right? I mean, I think we were messaging one morning, one night, and those girls are like 7 feet long. So they're they're small as it is. So I'm trying to get them a little extra body fat to see if they can go.
Right.
But if a snake's, let's say a Burms 9 foot long and she's not thin, then you're good. I don't know. So that was a horrible answer. I didn't answer anything besides saying, I don't know, look at the snake and see. But
I mean,
I
again,
don't know. I don't know.
you kind of said it.
There's a look.
If it's not thin, you're good.
Yeah, right. Like, and you can know, like, especially if you're keeping them, if a snake's looking thin. Like, okay, that girl I just pulled out, that retic, 3.5 years old, so she's of age. I would not breed that girl. She needs to get some size on her. And I don't know if you can recall, she was leaner, and she was, I don't know, what is she, 7 foot, 7.5. That girl's not ready to breed, even though she's of age. But if she was girthier, maybe. What's that?
The one you pulled out?
Yeah.
Which one are we talking?
The retic that I pulled out, the last one, when I was
Right.
like standing up and doing that thing. So she's of age. So if she went off food, which I don't know if she would because she's small, she may go off food. I wouldn't breed her.
Okay.
But the Burms are a lot thicker. The 7 foot Burms, the clutch mates of yours. Your girl's probably what, this big aroundish?
Dude, go a little bit bigger, bro. Right there.
So she could be ready.
Kenny was like, "Yo, she's ready, yo." She hit me up. He hit me up with that. He's like,
Kenny says
ready.
it, run it.
Yeah, I was like, no, for us, my boy.
I've been pairing the one Kenny had, because Kenny, got those things jump started. It's just my girl. Yeah, so my girl's from Kenny like that, but I don't know if there's follicles in there or if she's just healthy. But yeah.
Girth is healthy. Girthy.
Yeah. Like I'm thick.
Now, I'm pulling up a pic, I believe, of your calico. But dude, that snake is fucking bizarre. So the calico that you got, here it is. I'll pull it up. It's something that you inquired from someone's collection that you took over, you said, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. How big was that collection?
It was good sized.
Yeah. How long ago was this?
Yeah. This past summer.
Oh, so this is recent.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And you've never had any calico before this. This is the first
time.
Yeah.
No. And there's not many of them around.
Hell no. This thing is sick.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah. So I actually have 2. That's one of them. Mm-hmm.
You have 2 calicos? You sick bastard.
Yeah. I had a good buddy who hooked it up.
What's their behavior like?
So I don't get them out, if that gives you any indication. These cages behind me, the Serpentine Obsessions, have a divider. And so they're pretty good. They let me move them over. So I just put the divider in, clean aside, move them over, put the divider in, clean that side. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty normal. When I first got them, so Aaron Mathis from Black Diamond Herps, he came over and he's like, "Hey man, let me get her out." And I was like, "Well, allegedly she would like to get out." And he's like, "Well, let me do it." So Aaron's wild like that. So I was like, "You know what? You got a point. Maybe she's okay being out. Let's give it a shot." And so it didn't go so well. Luckily, Aaron is super agile and quick reactions and an athlete, so he was able to maneuver away from the crotch bite. And then he came in with this like boom behind the head. We got her back in. But that's the one that I was talking about that hid and now comes up and is like, we're tight. I can pet her on her head. So she's gotten used to me. But so you asked how the behavior is. Flighty. She didn't want to bite, but we put her in a position. She's like 14 feet long. She had nowhere to go. So she's like, all right, y'all want to do it? Let's do it.
Don't test her.
Mess around and find out.
She's ready. Yeah. Jeez, bro. So hot. Man.
They're cool, man. They're cool.
Now let's talk about another type of big snake. This is one of my other favorites that you keep here.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Female?
That's a female.
Nice. And she's about what, 6, 5?
Years old or feet?
No, years old.
I don't know. That's another one I got in the acquisition.
Acquisition, got it.
Yeah, if you can believe that. So I got it from a really good friend here in Georgia. an insane guy, like a way better guy than I think I could ever be. I think like his enjoyment came from what makes him happy is making you happy. And he was just beyond selective, obviously, in every animal he ever got. And he's who I would get like my retics from. And so just he was getting married and just, some transitions in life, and me and him had just formed a real good relationship. And so he loves his animals. And so he trusted them with me, and, kind of gave me a real good opportunity. And the snake you have up is, he had a couple in there that I was like, I'll take, the whole collection to get those 3. She's insane. So really cool animal. Just really an anomaly, I believe. I don't think we really know what she is. So she's
golden child.
Yeah, golden child golden child orange ghost stripe, which, if I'm not mistaken, is usually like an orange snake. So the speckling, some have said that it's calico. I think it could be like a paradox. Like that could be like the normal golden child showing through the orange ghost stripe. I don't know. Whatever she is, she's dope. And glad to have her.
Do you know what the original like documentation is on this snake is? Like, did the guy produce her, or what did like?
I believe, yeah. So I believe Nerd produced her. So Rob may be able to give us some insight on that. And I believe from there she might have gone to Aubrey Pruitt, potentially, don't hold me to it, and then eventually found her way to John. John produced a clutch with her, made some cows, some golden child cows and stuff. But I don't know, man. I'm just really blessed to have that here for my enjoyment.
Damn. Is this anywhere in the projects yet for you? Like, would you have any plans for this coming up, or what's
yeah. So I have a cow, male. So that'll definitely go to her. So,
nice.
And she, if I'm not mistaken, so I went back and tried to study John's page. So I believe she cycles in January. So hopefully that's coming up. Hopefully the conditions are here to really kick her right back into cycling. I know she took last year off, so ideally we're set up to make some really cool stuff with her. But we'll see. The retakes, sometimes they go off food, sometimes they don't. And if she doesn't go off, then hope to catch her next year.
Yeah, man, because it's not such a fucking walk in the park breeding retic. I mean, from what I've heard. I mean, I've talked to Andrew a lot, or maybe with Super Dwarfs he was maybe considering, but like I just know that it's fucking. I don't know. Can you? What's your opinion on breeding retics?
Yeah. So my insight that I can provide is kind of, it's really hard, but it's also super easy because they go off food. So most, like the ball pythons, the Burmese, while they're breeding, they're eating, and then when they stop eating, that's when they're gravid, right? Retics are opposite. So retics just stop eating, and that's when they're ready to pair. So if you throw a male in there when she's not ready, she's going to be slamming them up against the cage. She's not having it. Whereas like a Burms just going to lay there and let you throw a ball python in there. She'll give whatever, do your best, right? But like the retics, they're not having it unless they're ready in cycling. So once they go off food, they're ready. So like I produced those G stripes this past year. I have bred that girl 3 years in a row. And I threw a male in there one time and she latched on, wrapped him up. She's throwing them around. I was like, yo, get out of there. Would have nothing to do with it. And then this past year, I got her out to clean and she was just thick. And I sent a picture to my brother because he had originally got her. And I said, dude, I think she's ready. And I came home that day after work, threw a male in. 3 minutes later, they're locked up. And she never ate again, right? So like when they go off food, they're ready and you're going to get an ovulation. Whether slugs come out or something good comes out, you're going to get it like a month after they go off feed. So it's easy in that aspect, right? She is very clear. I'm ready. Bring it on. But at the same time, I've had some of these snakes for years, and they just have never gone off food. So I don't know if guys with more experience they know the timing, or if there's something they do to get them to go off food. But for me, I just kind of sit back and wait and hope they do. And if they do, let's rock and roll. If they don't, then it is what it is.
Right. So it seems like the signs are there. After a while, you kind of get this you get an idea of what, just to keep an eye out for. And then, that's it,
But
same with
it's their call.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, incubation, right? They cook a lot longer than like
Oh
your
my
typical
God.
ball python egg or something. Is that right?
Oh, it's painful. Yeah. So about 90 days.
Whew.
So yeah, and you know the 60 in Burms and ball pythons, you know, it seems long as it is, but so this
Add another.
past year I had a couple retic clutches, then a ball, and then I got a ball python clutch, but I wasn't super excited about. Then I got a Burm clutch last, and I was so pumped because it's like, dude, in 2 months I'm gonna have babies because I'm so used to like 3 months. I've had them hatch at 100 days before.
Right.
That's pretty painful. I can't imagine those people do monitors and it's like 6
Oh,
months.
180 days and shit.
Forget I have them. Yeah.
Even emeralds, dude. My shots, my boy Socrates. He has like he's waited like this Amazon basin fucking pairing that's finally happening, and she fucking ovulated so big, and he's like, all right, 181 more days, and I was like, oh, I'll be pulling my fucking hair
Right.
out. I was like, Jesus Christ, but they come out live, you know, obviously,
Yeah.
but man, that's still a long
That's
time.
a long time.
So same with Retics, it's fucking
Yeah.
90 days, bro.
90
No
days.
joke. But they, you know, their clutches are massive, right? Like a typical clutch is like in the 30s, right? Am I right?
Potentially, in my experience, so just heck, to give you this past year, I had 32, and then I had 16 and 17 of my 3 retic clutches. So I think it's one of those deals where you can have, 50, 40, but you could also have in the teens. So,
Right.
So you have the potential to have a huge clutch, kind of similar to a Burm.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because Burms could give you some hefty clutches too.
Yeah.
How come, like, you know, like for instance, like the big thing about super dwarf Retics, right, turned into this huge market, right? But like, what's up with the dwarf Burms? Like, I have heard a little bit about dwarf Burms, but not too much. Like, what do you know about the dwarf Burms?
I don't know a lot. I do know that I have a half dwarf, and he is August of last year. So he's what, almost a year and a half? And dude
Okay.
is like, I posted a picture of him the other day in my hand. Dude's a foot and a half long. And I don't know. He's in a V, the V35 tubs?
Yeah.
He's in a V35.
Okay.
And that's a
And he's
half dwarf.
How old is he?
He's August of 19. So year and
About a year.
4 months, 5 months, year and a half.
Yeah.
And he's got to be, he's got to be barely pushed 2 feet. And he's fat, man. He is a thick sausage. So it's not like I'm starving him. I'm trying to get the damn thing to grow, but it won't.
Yeah.
So that's what I know of them. They're hard to get, right? I know. So it's crazy. I didn't realize it. I didn't, man. Back in the day, man, me and you were talking all the time. 2017, Bob Clark had a clutch of pure dwarfs.
Yep.
And I just didn't recognize at the time the value. So I thought about it and I was like, man, I got so much stuff going on. Didn't jump on it. And I haven't seen a clutch since. If I ever saw one, I'd jump all over it. It'd just be good to get that blood, a little something different. You know, the dwarfs in the retics, you're working in the localities. It manipulates the pattern a little bit.
Right.
So if we can just do that with Burms, it just gives us a little more, opportunity. And who knows if like ours have a little bit of dwarf in them. You know, that dad, he's 5 foot, and he's like 7, 8 years old.
Right.
So maybe there's some dwarf floating around in there. But if that's what it does, ours looks so different. That'd be cool to really engage that, open it wide up,
Because that's what's probably making the because I'm seeing Burm balls and shit. I'm seeing Burmese and ball python fucking, and that's like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of, hybrids are like, I guess to somebody who's a select like species breeder could be like, oh, why are you doing that? But at the end of the day, there's no rules of this shit. We're already taking them out. We're already taking them out of the wild. What the fuck else? I mean, get over it. So, anyways, but yeah, like these Burm balls and shit, like these bat eaters, which I want to talk a little bit about if that's cool. What do you have any kind of info, like or any like, I talked to so and so about this about bat eaters at all, or
no, I don't know much about them at all.
are you lying to me?
No, I'm not. The only thing I do know, so like, right, it's allegedly like it has to be a male retic and a female Burm. So I've never been in a position where I cared to sacrifice a female Burm to try it, right? Because it's supposed to be hard. And I was talking with somebody. I was like, well, I'll just throw, once a girl goes off food, I'll throw a male Burm to them. And they said, well, you can't do that because their thought process was the male sperm is what keeps the egg going. So if a Burm can only keep it going 60 days, but the incubation for a retic female has to go 90, then it just dies off. So I was like, man, there's a ton of logic there. So like the male retic has enough power to go 90 days, but they come out at 60 out of the female Burm. So that's all I know, and that's speculation, but it seems spot on.
Man,
Other than that, I don't know much about them. They're cool.
That's definitely breaking through the force field right there, dude. That's like that's like fuck. Like God's probably like, yo, whoa. How do they figure this? Like, no,
yeah,
but
y'all do it wrong.
But it's fucking nuts, man. Because I'm seeing him in Indonesia and shit like that. You see him overseas quite often. So you see like I have a homie Juan who fucking breeds Timors on the regular, who's breeding bad eaters into Timors and like all this crazy shit. But then yet like
that's interesting.
Right, but yet nobody could do it here, right? Like, I know Nerd did it. I know Nerd did it, I think once, but then sold off the project, and now it's just like a fucking, like a myth. Like it's just like nobody really wants to talk about it. You know what I mean? And like, and Kenny, shout out to the homie Kenny again. He just says, "Bro, don't ask questions. Just fucking quiet." And I'm like, all right, "You got it, bro. You got it."
Right?
You know? Because because that's like my mentor when it comes to the big snakes and shit. So, and I can't reveal what.
And if I can right now, while we're talking about Kenny, one of my favorite guys, maybe on the planet. That guy is so positive, and he's always got my back. And like I won't hear from him for a minute, then he pops in and just like throws all kinds of validation at me. Love it. That's my man.
Bro, shout out to the homie Kenny. He's super low key, fucking
right.
Not even into big snakes. He has some sick ass geckos. He's doing some sick ass shit with geckos. I'm gonna bring him on for sure. I don't want to give the people. I'm kind of selfish because Kenny is so raw, bro. Like he's just like, I don't think the viewers are ready for Kenny yet, bro.
Maybe we keep Kenny to ourselves.
Yeah,
that's hoard Kenny for us.
He's just like, he's just too raw, bro. I don't know.
That's my guy. Yeah, I like that guy.
He is, bro. And like you said, man, I'll probably go a month without talking to him, and then I'll just have the most uplifting conversation with him.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, let's go. And I'll be like, fucking, you know what I mean? He's just that guy, bro. And he's that guy to you. He's that guy to my homie Andrew. Like, it's just, it's fucking, it's sick as fuck. This is why I love this hobby, bro. This hobby is fucking one of mine, because of people like Kenny, because of people like you, you know what I mean? I would have never met people like you if it wasn't for the snakes.
Right.
So that's so sick. But all right, well, I had to ask about how to at least bring up the bat eaters a little bit.
What about the cat eaters? Cat eaters. Do you know about those?
You're behind you?
No. Nope. She dipped when I said that. But yeah, the rocks to the Burms, the African rocks to the Burms.
That's a real thing.
Oh, they're cooler than the bat eaters, you ask me.
Whoa, okay, hold on. So African rock to ball python?
No, to a Burm.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Like that must be the meanest ball python on earth. Like that's probably worse.
You may be onto something.
Yeah, or imagine putting one of those fucking super balls, like what is it, a blood python and a ball python into the fucking African. Oh, that's incredible. Hulk right there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that shit would probably end up with legs. But yeah, dude, fucking okay, so yeah, let's what the fuck's up with that? Who has produced that?
So I don't know who it is. It's not Sal Daddy, but I believe his name's Salvatore. He's got a bunch. He's overseas. He's got an Instagram. And they're cool. The hypo ones, they just have a different look to them, man. Cooler than a bat eater, if you ask me.
To each their own.
Wait till you see it.
But I haven't seen it. Yeah. Here I am talking shit, and I haven't even seen it. But I just fucking I love the bat eater, bro. But I think, for instance, if you get a unique Burmese, if you get the right Burmese and you get the right retic, who knows what kind of bat eater you can make? I'm just saying, it hasn't been tapped in yet. Like it just needs to be like more broke through the force field. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. I found the guy. Hang on.
All right.
Can I send it to you?
Yeah, let's see. Let me see.
MJ Trade Talk.
Yeah, send it through. What are you gonna email it?
No, I just sent it to Instagrammed it to you. DM.
I don't think I could pull up via. Can I pull up
Oh.
DMs? Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, hold on. Send it to Trap Talk. Yeah, send it to Trap Talk.
Okay, sent.
All right, let's see.
And then go to his page, just roll through a few. He actually doesn't have a bunch on here.
Here we go. Wow. What the hell? Whoa. What am I looking at?
Yep.
Bro, that is bizarre.
But check this out. Okay, I'm going to send you one. And I guess you can show it to everybody so they know what we're looking at. But tell me if this doesn't look like ours.
Dude, that is bizarre.
Look at the babies I just sent you.
All right. This one's loading up. So again, just so people who are just listening right now, this is explain what this is one more time.
That's a hypo cat eater, the big one. So that's hypo, it's Burm to African rock. And I don't know if that's like 50-50 or if there's 75, whatever the percentages work out, but that's what it is. It's really cool.
Bro, how come I've never in my life even obviously my first time seeing something like this, but hearing about it, like a cat eater, I thought you were joking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool, huh?
Are you eating Oreos?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Attaboy. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Those aren't normal Oreos. What are those? Put those to the camera.
Oh, man, I do the golden. I'm a golden guy.
Oh,
I just lost one. You know what that means.
Pick it up. Hurry up. Yep. Pick it up. There we go. All right. All right. So now with a cookie in your mouth, now you got to explain what these are.
He didn't have a description of them. But that's what ours are like as babies. So.
Damn, bro.
I don't know if they're cat. I don't think ours are cat eaters by any stretch of the imagination, but that's what ours look like as babies.
This guy looks like a fucking this guy looks like a OG. Like he looks like he's killed people, bro.
Yeah, he has that look. I don't know.
He doesn't look like he is still on this earth. Like he looks like he's from another generation.
Look at this guy.
I'm pulling him up.
Oh, he
right
does.
now.
No, you're right.
When did you guys see this guy? This guy looks. We got to get him on the show. I got to get him on the show now. This is crazy. Oh my god! You don't know him at all? You've never spoke to him?
No, never spoke to him. I think he'll post on Facebook every now and then. Dude, that guy's legit.
He's for sure killed people.
God, I wish I looked that cool.
Yeah. Where's he from? Is he from Spain or Italy?
He's got to be some form of Spanish. I don't know. Fortuna.
I got to show one more pic. Hold on. This guy is savage, bro. Dude, I am so happy you just put me on this guy right now.
Got to open your eyes to the cat eaters.
Yeah, I guess the Indonesian fools aren't the only one popping off right now. Like this is crazy. So this is another pic of a fucking. I mean, can you kind of tell me the style of Burmese this is?
That's just an African rock.
Oh, that's an African rock. My bad. Oh my god, bro! In his flip flops. This guy's nuts.
That guy is legit. Whoa! Oh man, there's another one that looked like ours. I don't know, man.
You send it to me? Let's do it.
Well, it's a video, so it's like the first second of it. So it didn't work.
Oh, the yellow one, the one that he's holding? Yep. Damn.
Doesn't it look just like him?
What's the next one?
I think the next one is a rock.
Oh my god, bro. You guys should follow this guy. This guy's nuts. I'm following him right now. Fortuna Salvatore.
That slideshow.
This fool is sick. You guys could thank Matt later.
Cat eater. Representing.
You could thank me too, because it's because of the show. We all know about this. So
it's true. Tag team, man. That's what we do. We've been doing this for a few years now.
We've been doing this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move on to the next subject, I just want to show this guy because this guy is a fucking pretty savage. I'm pretty excited to follow his.
Cool looking.
Check him out for Fortuna Salvatore. Check him out.
And so to really judge what kind of clout you have, man, I see he's got 307 followers. So we can check back in and see what kind of clout you have to see how many he grows.
So Matt's trying to test my clout right now. So I know all my
Is clout the right word? Am I using that
all
right?
my trappers right now who are tuned in. There's at least, I know, okay, 88 people watching. I'm gonna judge there's about 6 new people watching. So there's at least 82 my real trappers out there who'll go and start following this dude for me real quick. And then I'm gonna go back and see who's following just so we could
We gotta check that later. You're an influencer, bro.
Yeah. My people know what's good, bro. I only bring the fucking good shit to the table, bro. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't bring that weak shit.
No.
Never. All right, cool. Well, I think I got enough of the big snakes out of you. Probably might have another question pop up now, but you fucking also produce really amazing ball pythons. Like you have other projects going on besides the big stuff. Believe it or not. So let's talk about some of the ball python projects you do. Actually, how many clutches are you even doing a year? Like, how big is that going for you? None at all?
Not many. Not many. Are you talking about ball pythons exclusively?
Just ball python. I could have sworn you were doing ball python.
Dude, no. That's why I'm laughing, because I have produced 6 clutches of ball pythons. In my whole ever.
Oh shit. I don't even know why I
brought past 3 years I've done 2 clutches. But I think it sticks out because I don't ever show them. And then I'm like, hey, by the way, here's a ball python. And I think people are like, what? So it sticks in your brain. You think I do them.
And then what the hell do you do with ball pythons? Just fucking play chess with them or what?
But yeah, that's basically what I do. So I don't really have any projects. So what happened is, again, let's backtrack to 2015, 16, when you couldn't ship Burms. And so I got every Burm I really wanted in Georgia. And so there, it's where there was nowhere to go. So it's like, well, and you start diving into ball pythons. They're awesome. There's so many varieties. There's so many different ways you can go. You can have a bunch in a small area. So I scooped up a few, and I'm not real good at breeding them. So sometimes I get a clutch. Sometimes I don't. I'll have them like locking up for like a year and nothing ever happens. And then one time I open up and like, oh, there's a clutch. So I don't really have it dialed in, but I will tell you my strategy is I take them and I say, what is the 2 animals here that would never look good together? And then I throw those 2 together. So I don't try to make something like, oh, I like this, combo. I'll try to make it. I say, this would look horrible with this. Let's see what happens. And that has worked out really well for me. So I produced, in 17, I produced a world's first. And I actually did a pairing, and I sent it in the group chat. I was like, check this out. And Frank, he's like, why would you waste a Mojave Inchi on that? He hated it. And then when he saw it, he actually repeated that pairing because he liked what he saw. So I'm revolutionary, but accidentally. So that's kind of my methodology behind it. These don't make any sense.
What the hell was your world's first? What would you make?
What was it? It's pastel cinnamon Inchi Mojave.
Where's it at? Let's see it.
No, that's not it. Oh,
What'd you make? When was this?
17, I believe.
Oh, that's cool looking.
And you can see, so you get your ball pythons, you got to get them up to size, but I don't do a lot with them. So this is a 3.5-year-old female ball python. Is she 1,000 grams? I don't know. Whoop. And she's not real pretty, but it's kind of, I don't know, whatever. That's probably why it's the world's first, because nobody wanted to make it. But she's kind of cool. Whatever. And then, so I don't know if it's the world's first this year, but I produced a, what is it? Black pastel, banana lesser Inchi. And so I don't know if it's the world's first. I submitted it to see if it is. So it'd be wild if it is. But yeah, so I don't do a lot of ball pythons, but I have them. I enjoy them. They're just a little different interaction than the larger snakes. They don't really play with you much. They just kind of sit there. This is another really cool one that I made. Again, one of my 6 clutches. This is always a fan favorite. Where is it? Whoop, whoop. This is a GHI potion. It's a pretty cool looking snake. So this was a 3 snake clutch. Got this one, but yeah. So I've had like 6 clutches, but made some cool stuff. I mean, that's what's cool about ball pythons. You never know what combos are going to show up and look awesome.
Exactly.
So I have some.
So what's your game plan with the ball pythons? Like just to fuck around and let's just make something like make cool or like, yep, that's it. Cool.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Like I don't know, because they don't take up space. They're not expensive to feed. They're real easy to clean. So I don't know. I like them. They don't fire me up like the big snakes do, you know. So I'll keep them around, and the clutch I had this year was 6, and I kept 3. So I'll just keep them back, hoard them, and play with them, and I don't know, see what happens.
Yeah, they're definitely, it's never boring fucking hatching out ball pythons. I don't know why, especially if you're doing the right stuff with the projects and just throwing cool shit together. I mean, it's never man. Can't say. Now, no, go ahead. What do you say?
I don't even know. On ball pythons, I get lost.
What do you do, Matt? Like other than the reptiles and stuff, what is it that you do on a daily basis, like or for your work schedule or work?
For my what now?
Saying here, yeah, I'm sorry,
lot, man. So I go to the gym.
Okay.
In the mornings, so that's something I do. Other than that, man, I work. I'm multi-unit management for basically like apartment complexes. So I oversee communities in the Southeast, so Arkansas, South Carolina, Georgia. So that keeps me pretty busy. And then other than that, I guess, like we talked about earlier, I wake up at 3:30, hit the cages. Then before I go to the gym, I do a Bible study. Then I go in the gym. Then I go to work. Then I come home, cook food, pack food, and then mess with the snakes a little more, try to watch 30 minutes of TV and crash out. So I don't do a lot outside of that because I'm running 100 miles an hour. So when I am on the weekends, it's like no regiment, try to chill out.
Slow it down.
I'll go, hike. I like to be outside. I don't know, I'm outdoorsy. That's kind of weird to say, but I don't know. Try to stay active. Try to get on podcasts from time to time. I don't know, but I don't do a lot. I'm a very boring person. Well, let me rephrase it. I'm very stable, right? Let's make it sexy and not boring, right? I have a lot of stability.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nowadays, there's a lot of unstable people out there. I'm saying there's fucking, you meet somebody stable and you're like, oh, wow, that's good. That's fucking, that's
me,
kind
man.
it's good to meet you.
Go to bed early and wake up early. And I don't know. I don't do much.
That's sick. Now let's talk about like your community of friends that you have, like, cause they're all fucking, a bunch of sick people in the reptile community. How did you start linking with like Bob and like, people like in that group and stuff like that? Like, how did that start?
Similar to me and you and with anything, as you're out and about, like-minded individuals seem to connect. And luckily Georgia has just a real big, like, I don't know, community aspect. We all work together and network and refer. And so just over time of interacting, people like me and Bob and Frank, and the Weavers, just good people end up migrating to each other. And just like John, who hooked me up with the Retics, just people who are on the same kind of mission and the same path just end up congregating. People who conduct their business correctly. Probably arguably one of my best friends in the world right now, Aaron Mathis, Black Diamond Herps. He lived in Virginia before you could ship Burms. And just because of the Burms, we connected, and me and him were basically the same person. And so he ended up getting a job offer down here and moved. And so I go out, once a month, every other month, and go just hang out with him and his family. It's just, you end up linking up with people. And luckily, geographically here in Georgia, there's people around that where we can get together. Dreamweaver Reptiles, I don't know if you know them, but they have extremely high quality and just insane customer service. But they end up just through that, right? Just through the quality and the customer service, we get to know them. We link up and we just stay together. We go out and camp at this river with them every year. I don't know. So I got lucky. I would say that just Georgia's like that. And people, like I said, people migrate to each other that are similar, and that's how me and you become friends over years.
Yeah, that's sick. What's cool is that like they're close enough to like, or you can link up with them for shows and stuff like that. Because you guys mob deep and shit for the like the auctions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then also like with you're like, when it comes to your ball python stuff, and do you kind of lean on Bob with a little help with that, you know, because he's fucking, you know.
Yeah. So
Bob.
we have a group chat where we just kind of BS around and share, you know, clutches we have going on and pairings and stuff. And so I'm always pulling knowledge from them and that. Anytime I have, so like that group IDs all my ball pythons. I can't do it. I try to guess what it is and say, hey guys, is this? And then they'll come back, or hey guys, what are you seeing? So yeah, I definitely use them for that, because I don't even know what I make. But yeah, and so that's a good resource to have. And again, just really good guys, which is the biggest thing, right? So that's what's weird about, I don't know if it's weird, but the reptile hobby is you take these people and bring them together because we like snakes, but then you intermingle just based on really people with good hearts and good energy and good motives, and you just link up with them, and you don't really pull apart from that. If that makes sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why it's like, you know, and let's see, I've been in this just going on a little over 3 years now. Because like when I first started, you know, I fucking, you know, I met you and Kenny and stuff like that, and I was blessed to meet guys like you in the beginning. Because you guys definitely outshined all the fucking piece of shit people I met. You know, it was easy to know who to follow and who not to follow.
Yeah.
So thanks for making that easy for me.
What I try to do.
Yeah. So, but like when it comes to the shows and stuff, like, did you ever set up? Did you ever go set up your snakes at shows? Like, did you ever sell stuff yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty stressful, no? Or is it? I mean, because I just feel like I would like want to be like drawn away from the table so much, but like you can't leave the table because you got to sell shit. So it's like, I feel like I would be torn between those two things.
No, because my personality, I have to find a spot and sit there and let people come by me. I can't be all around. So it actually works out really well because I have a home base. So even when I'm not vending, I go sit behind Frank's table, and that's like my spot. Yep.
Yeah.
And that way, what's cool about it, and actually is good, is I can slide away, because sometimes I get stuck in conversations and it drags on. So I can be like, hey man, I gotta go over here. But at my table, I don't. But so yeah, I actually like vending. Like I said, I got a home base. I can have my meals set up here. You know, I can sit back, and then me and Aaron will vend together. And what's good is, you know, we're the same person anyway. Some people think we're the same person, and he's such a good person, and we work so well together. We sell each other's stuff, even if it's like he has the same species I have. If somebody's looking at something, I sell his. Like we were in the show in Nashville, and this guy came up and he's looking for something, and then I didn't have it, but he said, "What's this?" And it's a purple retic. And I was talking to him a little bit, and he mentioned pies, so I walked him over to Aaron's. And Aaron had some pies. And so I got out this pie and I was showing them, and the guys fell in love with it, called his daughter over. And then Aaron, I was like, yeah, he likes his pie, man. And, you know, it's his price range. That's what he's looking for. And so Aaron started talking to him. And I went to the bathroom, came back. I came back. Aaron had him back over that purple retic and sold him my snake. So like I had Aaron sold, but then Aaron came back and sold mine. So you just, so you find, again, you work well together. It's not competition. It's not, you know, it's just, there's enough to go around, and let's work together. So to go back, I like vending with somebody because I can slide out if I do want to go walk around. Aaron can hold it down. I know my stuff's in a good spot, and he can go do the same.
Yeah, I mean that's here. You know, another thing I love about the hobby, it taught me to have that, you know, everybody got to eat type of mentality. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You don't hoard knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's all about passing shit down. And from what I understand, like, especially talking to old heads in the game, bro, it wasn't like that in the 90s and shit, dude. Motherfuckers were like anti-fucking, like, you know, you got to know someone to get information. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but like, that's because of the platforms. There was no platforms back then.
That's exactly what I was going to say. To get the knowledge then, you had to like work your butt off to get it and really earn it. So you might know, you're like, hey man, you can't just come to me after something I've worked 10 years to figure out through trial and error. So I can kind of see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying this hobby's in good hands now with the fucking, with the social media platforms, some in good ways. I mean, some in bad ways, like with, it's easy for fucking, group pages and shit to talk shit, which it's easy to ignore those. But in the good way is that information's out there now. Like, this podcast, like I always fucking give up, people who come and give me props for it. I'm like, yo, I give the props to the guests who come on. Like you guys are the ones giving us information that we could always go back to and listen to whenever we want. So, I mean, this is like, thank God for social media platforms, because I feel like after that, the hobby's definitely progressing and it's growing,
blowing up. Yeah. The more
day,
people doing it, the more people are going to be buying animals. The more people working projects, they're going to get, so that it expands, and it's good for everybody. The more that people know, and it's anything with life. If you do the right things, it's going to come back to you. So help people out, be good to people, spread the knowledge. You teach somebody how to breed retics, they get a clutch. They want to work on another clutch. Maybe they'll buy from you later, and then it just grows. Everybody wins.
Do you want to know what really grinds my gears, Matt?
Tell me. I do want to know. Tell me.
So I'm look at everything with an open mind now. Like, that person may be doing this and that I'm not really into, but hey, they're grinding. I look at the bigger picture, right? Like, yeah, at least they're grinding and they're putting out content, or they're working, whatever. They're doing something, right? So that being said, I subscribed to a channel recently. And I'm not going to just put the name out there. I don't want to, we'll just keep it at that. But I subscribed to a channel recently that came out with an episode. And keep in mind, man, I say this all the time. Ball pythons are America's favorite reptile. That's the way I've seen it since I was a kid. That's
hands
like
down.
Go to a little kid, Mom, I want my first reptile. You go to a pet shop, more likely they're gonna get a ball python or like a gecko or a bearded dragon. But ball python, like that's you look at it, and that's it's ball python, right? But then I saw this video on this person coming out saying 5 top reasons why ball python should not be a pet. Like it's or a horrible first pet. Like it's a terrible and that right there, I was like, all right, I'll check it out, and I checked it out.
Clickbait?
And not really clickbait, but this dude was literally saying, like, he was saying, no, I'm gonna show you why a ball python is why you shouldn't do it. And he said it's because they get really big, dangerously big, which watch
out,
right? But all I'm saying is, like, man, this, like, he has a big enough audience where you have people who don't know so much that are watching this, and it's really making ball pythons look like shit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, this guy has like 60, 70,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. So, and he did a bunch of other shit where I just stopped it. And I was like, I can't believe this fucking guy. Like, this is nuts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody is really into snakes and they're passionate, if they're 6 years old, a ball python's a perfect first pet to get them. You know what I mean?
God, you don't get any better than that.
Because that's gonna teach them if they're meant for reptiles or not. If they don't like them, if the ball python's too much for them, if it's too scary or too big, then stick to a goldfish, fucking Connor. Like, let's
come on, Connor.
Yeah, come on, let's get you a goldfish or some beta fish, and we'll paint, and like, let's go. That's fine. But don't sit here and say how no kid should ever start with the ball python. That's fucking bullshit. And I don't know. I just had to bring that up because it's just really grinding my gears. Every now and then I gotta talk about
MJ. You know what? That grinds my gears. I even watch it and my gears are grinded. Unbelievable.
I'm grinding so much I need an Oreo cookie. Anyways, whoever watched that, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, damn well ball pythons is where it's at. Especially for a kid. My god damn it, my kid is into dinosaurs and he loves reptiles. He's gonna get a fucking yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's very inaccurate.
I mean, I think my kid's gonna fucking have no choice but to like snakes.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I mean,
it's in his blood.
Yeah, it's in your blood, bro. Oh shit. Now, Matt, with your experience with people first inquiring with, like you said, somebody who comes to you and they want to purchase a snake, like I'll figure out what it was that they said, but it makes you go investigate them to see, okay, does this person even keep snakes? But like, what's a protocol for you when somebody that has no experience working with Burms or Retics? Like, what's something that you advise somebody like that before they even come to you saying, hey, I want to buy one of your snakes? Like, you know what I mean? But knowing that they don't have the experience.
All right. So somebody coming to me saying, "Hey, man, should I get a retic?" Or somebody just saying, "Hey, man, I want to buy this retic."
Yeah, or the guy, hey man, I want to buy my first retic or berm, and you're like, all right, cool. Have you ever worked with them? Nope, but I got the money.
Yeah. So I would try to. So all right, I try not to grill people because
Right.
if you want
Yeah.
a snake, you want a snake. I think initially on the front end, what I can do is have my snakes at a price point where it weeds out somebody who's not really serious about getting an animal. Okay, so just right off the front, before we have to have any conversation, you got to come to the table with something that shows me that you are into this, right? And so
Right.
generally, you can tell in a conversation, hey, what's the cheapest thing you got? A lot of times I don't even respond to that, right?
Right.
If somebody says, "Hey, man, I think normals are the most beautiful retics there are. Do you have any?" Then we can, move forward. But if somebody were to ask me about retics, so they're super hardy. They are tanks. They don't get sick. You can screw up. You got some room there. Like I've had like the bottom rack wasn't connected, and I just got this thing. I was like, "You feel cold?" Dude, it was like 70 degrees, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're gonna get sick." Dude was fine. So they are kind of good in that aspect. So I tell them, but the thing I always let people know is they have an incredible feeding response, and you may not see it until later. So you just have to be ready that when they're of age where they can do damage, you have to be very, very cautious. Outside of that, I don't know what else I can say. Again,
Yeah.
I can kind of guide the conversation based on how they're coming at me because you talk to enough people, you know what they're looking for. Again, if somebody's like, "What's the cheapest you got?" And if all right. So another thing I do is if somebody's like, "Hey, man, do you have an availability list?" I always ask. I don't because I don't ever have availability list. I just say, "Are you looking for something specific?" That tells me a lot, almost all I need to know about what they know about retics or what they're looking for, right? If they're like, "I don't know, something for $150, I don't know, 200. If they're like, "No, I just love the purple albinos," or, "Do you have anything that's motley?" That kind of guides me that they know what they're looking for and they've looked into things. And that makes me feel a little more comfortable.
Right.
But again, I don't screen necessarily, but I do like if I don't know you, and I'll go to your Instagram page and try to peek around, see if you have anything to do with reptiles. I don't generally tell people no, but the price you may get reflected may be escalated to, maybe as a deterrent. Is that fair to say? Can I do that?
Yeah. I mean, definitely
Yeah.
fair. What you're also saying is you don't need to grill people because you look for the punch words. Like you literally just listen to what
Yeah.
they're asking, and you're just like, all
You'll
right, well,
know.
either that person has no clue what the fuck they want, and they're,
And those type of people, kind of going back to what Bob was saying, it's not
yeah.
the retics that are bad, it's how we handle the retics. And if you're just like, "Yo, I'm overwhelmed because I did 8 clutches and I got to get these normals out here, so here's a $75 snake," you're what's wrong, not the retics. Because if we handle the normals correctly, and I did the podcast with Jeremy and Rob, and that's one thing Rob mentioned. He's like, "I never put a retic below this price because you got to have that barrier to entry." And doing things like that
Yeah.
keeps the retics out of that level where somebody says, "Hey, we don't need to do these anymore." We don't want legislation saying we don't need to do these anymore, right? I'd be screwed if they did that. So we have to be responsible on our end.
Now, to kind of talk about something that's kind of like, I don't know, did I ask you if we could talk about all topics? Well, you're an open book.
You didn't. Yeah, bring it on.
It is what it is. One thing that I don't like, it's kind of like, wow, I guess it could be reality, but you hear this like talk about like, oh wow, like retic breeders, like mass retic breeders. I guess not mass, but people who do like more than 4 or 5 clutches, like they end up fucking killing most retics that they don't end up selling, or once they get to a certain point, like I've heard about this more than one breeder. You know what I mean? And I'm sure since you've been breeding fucking big snakes, I'm sure this rumor has crossed your fucking pathways at some point. But have you ever heard about like these big retic breeders who produce supposedly so many clutches that there's like low key rumors that they're murking the babies or like getting rid of them or culling them?
Well, so what I have heard is people stabbing the eggs or putting them in the freezer. So before the baby's born.
Right.
I have heard of that, which again, I'm kind of torn on because not necessarily from like a moral perspective. I'd be like, man, I'd be real upset freezing like an amazing snake, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're producing at that level, I feel like maybe on the front end, you know, again, you don't end up with that many, but I've heard of people doing that. I haven't been in that position. But you know, cause I try to gauge based on ovulation, but at the same time, you want to go off ovulations and 2 of them slug out, you know, you could be setting yourself up for not that good. But I think that's kind of part of the responsibility that we take on, you know, hit or miss. Don't breed to where you have 10 clutches, or if you have the capacity to do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying for me, cause it's just me and I got to clean them and I got to move them out. That would be too much for me to handle, you know. And again, if you're selective on the breeding and you're doing pairings to produce a variety and animals that sell well, that'll help you out too. Or if you're just trying to chase like this, like ball pythons, you could try to make this combo, and you're 5 eggs, right? If you're trying to make like a combo in retics and you got 30 eggs and the whole pairing's not good, you're just going for this one animal, you could end up with 30 snakes, get the 2 you want, and 20 of them are garbage, you know? So there's a lot of strategy that we can do on the front end to avoid that. But yeah, I've heard of people doing that. I think to answer your question, I go like this sometimes and then get to the quick answer.
Whatever you gotta do, bro, as long as you get to it.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, feel like, okay, because listen, man, like it or not, man, one thing that the hobby does is there's fucking pics out there. Like there's facts that float around, you know, and you can't help but to look at some of these facts, like these horrible pictures of the way some retics are kept, shoved into fucking bins and shit like that. It's terrible, right?
Yeah.
That's why when you hear these stories, oh, is that what they're doing with all these, you know, you know what I mean? That's why I can't help but to fucking dwell on this kind of thing, because those kind of stories, those pictures that float around, that doesn't help us. That doesn't help the community at all.
Nope.
Whatsoever. So I wonder if no matter what breed or who that is, no matter how big the fucking facility is, I wonder if keeping somebody at a minimum of clutches a year period would do some sort of benefit. Like, I don't know.
I think it would, but I don't know if you could regulate it, but that would be a phenomenal idea, right? You like a limit, like when you go fishing, you can only keep 5 of these. Okay, well, you better keep the 5 biggest or whatever, right? So if you can only have 5 clutches a year, you better make them count.
I'm just saying, like, you should be hard. Like, if motherfuckers break the law, they should fucking, you know, I guess not go to jail, because we've put enough fucking people for breaking stupid laws enough in jail. Anyways, right. I don't know, whatever, man. I'm not even a politician.
No, but yeah.
Because listen, at the end of the day, I don't want to see recent pics of fucking retics shoved in fucking bins. Like, I don't want to see stuff like that. Ruins my damn day. And I've seen it before, yes. And I've heard and witnessed other things, and it just kind of angers me. You know what I mean? That big, beautiful snakes like these don't deserve to live lives like that. You know what I mean?
Or like, I've seen pictures like what you're talking about, and I'll tell you, I have a gut check of like, hey, do I really want to do this? Because I'm setting these animals up to potentially end up there, you know? And it's like, am I doing the right thing by this?
Bro, yes, that's what, dog. That's my fear, because at the end of the day, I can't hold everything back. I could barely hold my holdbacks here. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I already had to I cut down my big snake collection in half, and I'm definitely like, I can't get rid of nothing else. I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? And,
but what you have to do, MJ, when you see that, right? And so I do this a lot, man, because it's, I don't want to be associated with that, but like in anything we do, reptiles, not reptiles, dogs, regular work, there's always going to be those people who don't have the integrity or take care of things or have the pride or whatever the case may be. And you can't look at that, because that's going to be anywhere we go, whether we get out of snakes or anywhere, or, we do poodles, whatever, there's always going to be that. So you have to really look at, like you said, the old heads, look at the people who are doing it right. And I just try to because I'm telling you, I've had that gut check, but then I just stop and say, okay. And I go look at like the old timers, like Eugene. I'll look at Bob Clark. I'll, go look at like a Bob, and just look at people who are doing it right, and just really focus on that, and that, just the positivity of that and where it can go if you do it right. And those people doing it wrong generally don't last. And that's in anything outside of snakes, right? So if they're taking care of their animals that way, they're not going to be around long and they'll weed themselves out. And that's what I tell myself. But I know exactly what you're talking about, man. It's not right to see animals like that, and it bugs me. And if I'm adding to that, right, I'm producing 50, 60 snakes a year. I don't know where they're going. You know, they could end up that way. So it's like, is that fair for me to put an animal in that position?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just hope for the best, right?
Hope for the best. I like that. I like that mentality though, man, because look, at the end of the day, no matter what hobby you're in, there's going to be some piece of shit doing something unethical, not the right way. Yep. And it's going to fuck with your mind. And it could be anything, man. I'm sure rock collectors are fucked up too. You know,
right? Just making rocks and stuff and saying they found it. You're right.
We're mineral collectors, mineral rock collectors. No, man, but it's total facts, especially in the world nowadays, man. People are just shit, bro. That's why you got to rise above and just do what you can, right? So,
right.
And you know, that's why I think about it, man. And I love these snakes enough to where I feel like I can personally manage one big snake clutch a year, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm good.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
You know, and okay, if I happen to pair two, then it'll be two.
and you know what? The path in life always reveals itself, right? So
really
you may
does.
say one, but maybe you put two together, like it'll just happen naturally, right? And then you may say, "Whoa, I'm doing really well this year. Let's just hold off until next year," right? It opens up.
Yeah. Next, you know, Retics have a fucking good rap again, and now they're fucking on the daily news and fucking, you know,
right.
America's favorite pet. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the goal.
Never know.
With these celebrities getting more involved in shit like that, and this becoming more of a popular scene in fucking, you know, rap videos. I'm telling you, man, snakes are on the come up, man. They are. I'm telling you, day by day. Animals, period, man. Animals ever since fucking, you know, the whole fucking Tiger King, and just like I feel like this year people's has focused a lot more on animals. Thank God.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. Now that being said, I was going to say something. I had a topic that I was going to bring up.
It was good. No, it was a good one too.
It really was good.
I felt it coming.
Okay, look, check it out. You have a bunch of people in the comments. Why don't you say hi to some people in the comments? I got to take a piss anyway. So
how do I see comments?
You'll see comments. See the comments right there? Like you could actually click comments. Like you'll see like watch. Hold on. You will watch. You hit like settings, or like you can't read any comments.
Oh, I touched something. Is it chat?
Yeah, chat. Yeah, chat. You should be able to see people.
Comments.
Yep, you should be able to see people.
I don't see
nothing. You don't see no one?
I did something that I can't. I can figure it out while you go pee.
All right, I piss. I don't pee. Okay, so
it's a good point. Yeah, my bad. All right, everybody. I'm trying to find you. I don't know if you can see me or hear me. I don't know what my thing did. I'm afraid to touch anything. Hi. Can anybody see that? Looks like something's loading. Anyways, I really wish I could see who's out there. Message me on my Instagram. I don't know what this is doing. It says chat. That ain't right.
You figured it out?
Hold up.
Should be chat.
Crunch. Martin's Morph said crunch. I found it.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But just as you came back, I found it. So sorry, everybody.
Perfect.
He said, when in doubt, show snakes. They're funny.
So Mountain Morph in the build. Elliot, Genomic Labs, Novi, got Cobra Jr., the homie Lucas up in the building, Benny Bender. Yeah, man, it's cracking, bro. It's cracking in here. Yeah, man, definitely what's up. Now, let's kind of talk about real quick, if you don't mind, like, where you feel like what's going to happen in 2021 with shows and whatnot. Obviously, it's kind of up in the air, but like, do you feel like shows are going to come back stronger than ever once this COVID shit fucking dies down and normalcy kind of hits us again?
So yes. All right. So I think everybody's going to like the show promoters and put-her-oners, right, are going to try to come back. Right. But what I think we may find is that less shows is better. There'll be more people, there'll be more revenue, there'll be more exciting. And that's with anything, right? Like if, I don't know, we had a pajama jammy jam once a month, people are like, well, I'll just catch the one next month. But if we had it twice a year, people are like, oh, the pajama jammy jams this weekend, I'm going, right? So if there's shows all the time, people are like, I'm kind of busy this week, I got to cut the grass, I'll catch the one next week. But if we cut them down, with kind of like what's happening now, shutting down Tinley, and having to shift those bigger ones to, what are they doing, St. Louis? That's going to be a huge show. And they're going to see, whoa, if we condense them, be bigger. But at the same time, the show promoters are putting on shows and they make some money. So I could see them doing it. But I do feel like I'm seeing some other people kind of come up. Like there's the Show Me Snakes show. They're coming down south, and that's the one we do up in Nashville. And they put on a really good show. And I know that they're getting a lot of hype. And maybe the Repticon isn't getting as much hype, at least in the Southeast down here. So I think you'll see some expansion of other people sliding in. But I don't know. I like them. Without them, snakes are still being sold. I think for me, I sold a lot online. I think too, like if they weren't the shows, people are like, well, I need this snake, so they shop online and find them. Whereas you might find a snake I have and you'd be like, well, the show's this weekend, I'll go see what's there. It's always fun leaving a show with a snake. So you'd rather get one there than just order it. But snakes still sold. But show people weren't making that money. So they'll still put them on, I think.
Yeah, man. I feel like, what's sort of, man, I mean, fucking, I go to the show solely just to link with the people, just to chop it up. Because that's the real thing is all these relationships you build on social media. It really comes to life when you actually meet the person in person. It's fucking like, oh, what up, man? Yep. And it just ignites and it's all cool. Some people more awkward than others, but that's just human. We can't do nothing about it. But man, I really miss it. And I think it's going to come back eventually. You know what I mean? And I think definitely with what you said, if it's fewer shows, people are going to look up. People are going to look forward to it more, and they're going to plan more. Yeah, they're going to plan more for it. And then it's going to be booming, I think. Well,
it's like Tinley's, twice a year. Everybody gets so hyped for it. We have a Repticon here. Obviously, two different types of shows, but, one a quarter. And then they added one that's like an hour away. But it's because Atlanta's like everything's Atlanta, right? So they're on the other side of Atlanta, basically. They added another one of those. So it's like there's a Repticon pretty frequently. So it's not as exciting, But if the Tinley's twice a year. So it's like, or like Daytona, people go crazy over Daytona because there's one a year.
I don't want this to happen, but what if, right? Like, what if 2020 is, I don't know, people are like, God, why are you saying this? But what if 2021 is like just shit? like, I'm talking about like, what if it like show wise is just shit, right? Like maybe there's one or two good shows, right? But because it's still COVID, it's like whatever. But then 2022 comes, right? And then Tinley comes back, and then Tinley's like the biggest fucking thing ever. I'm just hoping because, bro, listen, Tinley's not looking good for March at all, period. I'm not looking forward to it being in October, really. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? So that could only lead 2022. And I know Tinley's going to be back. Tinley will come back. It has
that might be, look, that might be like, was it NBA or you're having a bad season, so you just lose out, so you get that first pick. That might be what Tinley needs to do is just say, hey, let's just like stock up, don't have it, and then just blow the roof off in 2022. It'll be insanity.
Let's fuck with the people's mind and depression and just make it seem like we're never coming back. Like Tinley is gone.
That's another way to look at it. That's the people's depression.
But I'm just saying, bro, my one time I was going to go to Tinley, I went to Tinley in March, ready to rock and roll. If fucking COVID hit and boom, everything got canceled. Tinley literally canceled. It's the night
before.
The night of Then right when I landed, they came out with the newsletter that it's canceled, and I was like, oh my god! And everything's all my whole plans changed. Everything changed, but it's all right, man. It could be worse, and it's gonna get better. And that's it, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I've never made it there.
This has been an amazing 2 hours, Matt. I can't thank you enough. This has been fucking some solid information. I do have some hot seat questions for you, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready for some hot seat questions?
Always.
Cool. Here we
hot
go.
Seat. What is hot? Hold on. What does hot seat mean?
So meaning like you don't got much time to fucking think. I want.
Oh, okay. So it's rapid fire.
Rapid fire. You know what I mean?
Oh, Lord.
I give some people slack. You know what I mean? Some people are like, well, what if this? No, I just need an answer, bro. Just
right.
You know
First thing that comes to mind. I'm ready.
No mercy. Ready? Here we go. Frozen thought or live?
Hold on. What did you say?
Frozen
I'm
thought.
stalling. Frozen thought.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay.
I had to process.
A cutter or no cut?
Oh, cut.
Okay. Big flexor or no flexor?
Big flex.
I was gonna say baseball or football?
Football.
Sweet. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
I don't like either. Van Halen.
All right. Late 90s, early 2000s, you're in a car with a girlfriend. You putting on Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
NSYNC. You didn't
right.
have to finish. It's NSYNC all day, every day.
Damn, okay. Eminem or Machine Gun Kelly?
Eminem.
Wow, okay. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
East Coast.
Favorite thing to cook?
Steak.
Okay. Favorite thing to order out to eat?
Pizza.
Okay. All right, cool. Little word association. First thing to come to mind, milk. Milk.
Boobs came to mind. I'm so sorry. I didn't want it to, but it did.
Hey, boobs, yay.
Dang it.
Oh, man. Coco.
Nothing came to beach. Dang it. I stalled. Hold on. All right, go. I'm ready.
Ready? Stuck shed.
Humidity.
Eggbound.
Nothing came to mind. Eggbound came to mind. I'm not good at this. Is it something wrong with my brain? Eggbound is what came to mind when you said eggbound.
Eggbound. Okay. Scale rot.
Cleanliness.
Oh my God. Day 60.
Hatching.
Okay. Instagram trolls.
Nothing came to mind. Instagram trolls came to mind. Not creative.
Okay. One thing. One has to go. Okay. Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
And you got a lot of homies on Facebook, but I respect your decision. That's cool.
Thank you.
All right. That's it, man. Hot seat questions are wrapped up.
Dude, I suck at that.
Oh, you're good.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good, dude. Good shit, Matt. Thank you so much, man. Now, before we end this, man, I do got to say you do have a lot of people supporting you out there. A lot of people have been following you for a while, like myself. What do you got to say to all your supporters out there, man?
Dude, I don't know. What can I say? I mean, I do have incredible supporters. I don't know how it happened, and I don't know why people support me so much, but I'm just really thankful for it. I don't know, but I do have like a really good following, and everybody's so positive, and everybody like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just kind of doing this, but then people slide in the DMs, are just like, dude, you're killing it. Keep going. And they just gas me up. I get all hyped up. So yeah, I have really good, and I don't know why, and I don't know why I deserve that. But I'm very thankful and appreciative of them. And that's not me trying to sound cool, but like, it really is. Sometimes I'm like, why does this person saying those nice things to me? It's weird, but yeah, I got a really good following. I'm very thankful for it. And that's what keeps me going too. Cause it is just me. I don't have like anybody really around who's like a girlfriend or wife or anything, or my parents are pretty supportive, but yeah. So like just the people on Instagram are just randomly, God, who sent me one the other day? I think he bought a snake from me. But anyways, he's just like, I was holding some big snakes, doing some stories. He's like, dude, I love watching these big snakes. You're killing it. You got awesome stuff. Keep going. And I was like, I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to keep going. So yeah, just really lucky. So, and then like, you, man, I got to be on here with you.
I'm taken and whatnot, but do you mean to tell me you're on the market? You're single and on the market?
I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am on the market.
What's your
ladies.
since we have you on, what's your ideal girl? What are you looking for in a girl?
Oh man. Okay. I don't know.
Come on.
I'm pretty wide open. Four things are important. Okay, if we're gonna go there. There has to be an attraction. Okay, I'm not saying it's just to be hot, right? There's different things. Like I have to be drawn and attracted to this person.
Is fake hair unattractive? Like if you found out she had fake hair, like the extensions, would you be turned off by that?
No. What's under there? I gotta like when they're gone. I gotta. If that's okay.
Oh my God, what's under there?
I guess without the extensions.
That's always a weird thing for me. But anyways, I just had to.
I have not experienced that. So there has to be an attraction, which is obvious, right? And then attraction can be personality as well. So it's just four things. The second thing, like I haven't thought of this before. The second thing is in some way or another, they have to be interested in being successful. And that doesn't mean money. That doesn't mean job. They could be successful at decorating the house or successful in, I don't know, anything, right? But they just have to have some type of elevation they desire. Yeah, right? It's somewhere.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be money, doesn't be job, doesn't be promotion, just want to do well in something. Third thing, there has to be some way in which they support what I'm doing down here. That doesn't mean they have to clean cages or go to shows. They might just have to say, my man's killing it. Great job, babe. Good clutch. Okay. They just have to elevate some way. And then the fourth thing that is very important to me is they have to be spiritual and a believer so we can walk that journey together, because that's important to have that with you and not pull you away from it.
And God
so
is
those
good.
four things. Yes, God is very good. And
all the
this
time
speaks volumes of how good he is. But yeah, so those four things, man. And yeah, so you know,
oh man,
yeah.
it's weird. I don't know how this guy is single, man. I'm just saying, ladies. Fuck, dude.
You want me to cue you in and maybe how? Maybe it's because I have a basement full of snakes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know, nowadays Kim Kardashian's like stuff like that. So just you stay away from a Kardashian, which I don't think you're gonna get anyway. I don't even think.
Hey man, you never know.
And you know, Kardashian, you know.
She probably got some extensions.
Matt Bowers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you for having me. No, it really is. It was fun, man. Has it been 2 hours? God, it flew by.
I could go in another easily too, but my dinner. I don't have cookies right here. I can't have cookies. The reason why I'm wearing long sleeves is so my fucking my pity arms aren't fucking being shown. I thought you're gonna be wearing I thought you're gonna be wearing fucking. Yeah, so I was like, oh God, I better wear a hoodie or something. I'm just kidding. All right, bro. Hey, have a good night, man. Thank you so much. This is round 230, so I will definitely we're gonna have Matt back on here again. Maybe you and Bob. Who knows? We'll see.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be fun.
That'd be cool. All right. Have a good night, man. Thank you so much,
All right.
Matt.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Good people, man. Matt Bowers right there. Peach State Pythons in the books. Fucking awesome. What's not awesome? And no disrespect, somebody sent me weed, okay? I'm not. Somebody's like, hey, MJ, I grew this stuff and I want you to smoke it. This was really bad, bro. Like really, really bad. I thought to myself, well, before I even say anything, I'm gonna smoke it first, or at least hit it, you know, and then if it's good, you know, I'll be like, yeah, bro, it's just bomb. I'm not gonna say your name, bro, because I don't want to embarrass you, but this is really bad. Okay. So to anyone out there who wants to try to flex or send me some weed, just stop. Unless you're really, really trying to bring some heat. But anyways, other than that, which annoys me because I really wanted to smoke some fucking weed and not dabs during the show. But anyways, other than that, this was a great episode, guys. I had a fucking amazing time getting to talk to Matt more. You know, it sucks because I just don't talk to Matt as much as I used to. I mean, I don't know, you know, I'm not sure why I did. Well, we all live our different lives, but it was cool to actually sit down and talk to Matt and, you know, I had a lot of concerns about my big snakes. You guys know that, you know, the last few episodes, I've just been like, fuck, I don't, you know, what am I going to do with my big snakes? But at the end of the day, man, these snakes are happy. You know, they're eating, they're not giving any signs of stress. And you got to look at the signs. At the end of the day, you raise your animal for a reason, to look at it for signs of stress, signs of discomfort, signs of unhappiness, of just like, hey, get me the fuck out of here. And I'll let you know, man, anyone who knows Retics, if they are not feeling it in their enclosures, they'll push until that motherfucking face of theirs is like going 3 different directions. Okay. So at the end of the day, if your ticks are eating, breeding, being happy, not fucking up their face, have a peace of mind. I have a peace of mind now. So good episode, guys. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. This was a good shit. This was good shit. Saturday, I haven't had the guest confirmed yet. So unfortunately, I don't have a guest on who I'm going to do Saturday yet. So Saturday's TBD. So let's see what happens Saturday. I will go ahead and promote it as soon as I get some confirmation. So we'll see what happens. What I have confirmation, though, is Sunday is my holiday trap Zoom session for my Patreon page, man. So holiday Patreon party going down this Sunday. It's not too late to join. It's never too late to join the Patreon family, man. The Patreon family is fucking growing on a daily. So I'm not even joking. So make sure you guys go check it out. If you want to be a part of the Patreon family and be a part of this tight-knit trap group, please, man, hit the link down below. Join whatever fucking tier you want to join, and make sure you tap in this Sunday. I got something special lined up, man. I'm going to be with my peeps. We're going to talk and fucking spread some holiday cheer. It's going to be sick. But other than that, next week, talking about some holiday cheer, you know I got something up my sleeve. I got something really up my sleeve for next fucking week's holiday trap session, okay? I got somebody special coming on. Very special, okay? So don't call me Trap Santa Claus, but if you want to call me Trap Santa Claus, go ahead. I ain't even fucking tripping because I'm saying I'm bringing some heat, man. Be ready for it. If this was your first time tuning in, even if you didn't like it, hit the subscription, man. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Be on top of all my trap shit that I come out with 3 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Trap Clip Tuesdays, man. I don't slip, man. I'm telling you right now. If you have any inquiries that you want to talk to me about, follow me on the Trap Talk with MJ's podcast on Instagram, and make sure you hit me up on Exotics Cartel with an A, not an E on Instagram. That's MJ Exotics Cartel. Help your boy get to 10K real quick. I'm just trying to swipe up. You know, maybe I'll do something sick once I hit 10K. I don't know. My Patreon members know I'm doing something sick once I hit 10K. So follow me on Instagram, MJ Exotics Cartel. You guys have a wonderful night. Catch you on the flip side.